Jacob DeGrom. 20-4 with a 2.63 ERA, 272 strikeouts. The year for him. Atlanta.
From the stretch.
Well, it's been a few years, and that's a difficult season. But here they are, back in the NLDS with a chance at making a title run. I gotta be honest, it's hard to believe they haven't been in the postseason at that time. Way too talented a roster. They've had 2 Cy Young Award winners.
Tough them out.
Rookie of the year, but never got past third place. Now they have a chance to be the big cheese and the big apple. Well, if they do, it will be the third title in franchise history. And of course, since way back in 1986, when they still were Boston Red Sox. Ozzie Albies is in for the third time now. He takes it all outside. It's 1-0. And he was up 1-1. Looked like he was cheating the heater right there. A little bit too far out in front. Not finding a way to keep his hand.
Third ball, 1 and 2 to Albies. Struck out twice already in the game.
First, with 1 gun in the inning. Breaking pitches, bounces in front of the catcher. He might have a different way to look this guy way on 2-2. He's already seen the curveball a couple of times, so he might be looking for it.
Angel fouled out. Out on their feet in New York. Fuck him out. Albies goes down again. 6K for the ground. There's Acuna. Wow, what a year he's had. 330 batting average. 124 ribbies, 44 homers. Oh my. 24 stolen bases.
Advantage count 2-0 to the Braves center fielder. In previous duels with the Drum, comes in with 15 hits and 47 tries. He's taken a beat once. Now down to 2-1 pitch.
Oh, 2-2.
No runs, 2 hits, and no errors so far for him.
Got him. The DeGrom. Mows him down in order in the 6th. Indoor.
Sitting shortstop and perennial MVP candidate Francisco Lindor.
Late. Very late.
Foul territory, and that's the first out of the inning.
Great stuff. What did he do in the regular season? Probably up there at the ground. 11-17. No, he's not at all. Wow. That's not good. Who was their best then? On the ground, and it gets by and base hit. And then that says something going in the 6th.
Against this particular run is a 333 hitter.
And a left and crotch. It's 3-0 now. Contreras, 2-run home. Aggressive. They're being aggressive this inning, and it pays off.
So a 2-0 ball down the line left, and the Mets have taken a 3-0 lead.
Wow.
People always
Contreras.
players make so much money, and there's your answer.
The new boys.
Way to rise to the occasion in the postseason. He did right there.
Yeah. Step it up. They step it up. Bryant and Contreras, the new boys, gonna come over from the Cubbies. It's 3-0. Game 1. MLBS. He saw and breathe, but it's the max so far.
And the pitch. Still only one out in the inning.
2 for 2 Alonzo. Struck him out. He comes back, it's okay after the strike, after the homer.
According to the umpire, big, strong.
32 homers, 106 ribbies, 261. Good year for Smith.
Good curveball here to start the
0 for 9. That's breathe.
You can really tell they're trying to keep the ball in on this big slugger right here.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, man. But he might spin the win if he starts looking for it in there.
And a slider runs in on him as he has to lean out of the way.
Can work a bit, finally up over 60 pitches.
Reluctance to throw the fastball. It's like he feels he can't throw the ball right by him right now.
Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2-2.
That's tough to tell. Ooh, he's early.
Down the right field line.
He's early.
This will wind up being a foul ball.
This thing is gone. 2 and 2. Early again or late? Late.
2-2, one more time.
65 pitches now. 2-2. Got him. But they scored 2. Loves it. 3-0. Next.
A 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run home run. 4, 5, and 6 coming up to start the 7th. It's 3-0 New York.
Jacob DeGrom on the bomb.
First baseman Freddie Freeman.
It's been phenomenal. Just 2 hits. Seven Ks.
Also taken 4 times.
Good play.
Yeah, that looked like an auto save.
247, 4 homers. I mean, that's pretty good against DeGrom. Not many do much. Big curve, but doesn't get it.
Now the Braves first baseman.
Doesn't chase.
Right guy, right spot. He's one of the better hitters in their lineup. Just the guy they want to see coming in.
1-1, 1-2, good slider. Good slider. DeGrom's got him where he wants him. A 1-2 from DeGrom. Fastball.
Lots of swings,
Sailed away
lots
at
of
the end
misses,
there.
a lot of ugly at-bats for this team right now.
1-2 from DeGrom to Freddie. You can go after it.
Pitch outside as they draw even at 2 and 2.
Clearly a setup pitch right there. 2-2.
Along with this at-bat goes,
Got him. Big
as
pace.
the guy starts to tire, they're more likely to leave the ball up.
101 mile an hour fastball.
Fastball line with a punch out. He's down for the first out in the 7th inning.
And strike 1 to DeGrom dealing.
Ooh, that was some gas. Triple digits on the radar gun.
Slider 0-2.
Balls behind 0-2.
Wow, he's cruising right now out there. 4 straight punches.
So I hear 9.
Working on number 5.
Ooh, good pitch to be laid off.
0-2, but he holds back. It's 1-2.
Jacob DeGrom.
Offer at that pitch right there.
Rock him out. Number 9. Oh, imagine the pitching, eh? With Scherzer coming now? Imagine how good the Mets are going to be. Just think about, I bet Lindor has a comeback year. If they even play, this bullshit about a strike or lockout or whatever really bothers me. The baseball can't keep doing that, you know, like, really bothers me when they do this shit.
Grounder back to the mound.
Especially because of COVID and stuff, they cut everything short. Yeah, if they had Wheeler, the pitching would be unreal. Like, I mean, imagine if they kept Syndergaard and had Wheeler too, and then add Scherzer and DeGrom. Can DeGrom be healthy though? I think. Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. I know. Philly is good too. Philly's Atlanta. That division's so every team is good.
He never wears those.
Yeah, I know.
1-1. Misses. Ball 2.
It's cool though that they have Acuna with his yellow shoes, and
On a good pitch there, had it stretching to get out there.
that rookie center fielder that didn't even play for the Braves in the playoffs.
Probably a little further outside. See if the fish are still biting.
Yellow and orange one. Or Azuna has orange, white one. Yeah. Orange ones. What's his name? That center fielder. I think he's playing for them. Yeah, Pache. He's in right field, though they have Acuna in center. Yeah. So imagine if the Braves had Acuna. And Soroka. How good they are going to be next year. If they're healthy. Soroka's at 8. They've been playing for 2 years. I'm Canadian. He's from Canada, and people know how good he is.
Braves fan low.
Yeah, I am, yeah. I'm the Mets, but I'm a Jays fan too. I'm in Canada. I'm a Freddie Freeman fan. I've always been a Braves fan.
And this one's too far inside. Ball 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate the Yankees. I don't like the Mets either, to be honest with you. But what I do is I'm trying to win the March to October with every team, and the Mets are a contender, a favorite, sorry.
And he pulled up in time.
And
Strike 2.
going through right now an All-Star, and just All-Star, whatever. It's nothing more, and it's try to get every team. And it's hard on March to October because you can't just load your team up like Frank has and have an all-star team, like can't use your draft picks and stuff. But yeah, the Mets are a team I just haven't been able to do it with them an all-star. Well, I got a shot this time. Is this your first time beering me? Are you a Mets fan? Are you from New York? Philly?
Yeah, first time.
Yeah.
In the Braves fan.
Oh, you're a Brit? Oh, nice. Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like Soroka, Acuna, Azuna, think about that. They didn't have, arguably, their 3 best players. Yeah, Soroka's the guy, he's very, very good. I know this because I'm from Canada. He's from Calgary. I'm in BC, not too far. But he's very well respected. I played baseball too, not professionally, but pretty high level. So I knew a lot about Soroka, and yeah, he's the ace.
Needs to go away until it has 100% clear.
Yeah.
I don't like the media around potential winning leaders.
Yeah, I know. I never really was a fan of his. I always knew he was something weird about him. But what they say about Andrew Jones, I don't really believe. He's like one of my favorite athletes. I love that guy. I don't know though. You're from Atlanta. Was he a woman? Did he hit his wife? Because I don't know. And how the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame yet? Man, that bugs me. Holy fuck, what does he have to do? 10 gold gloves? 450 plus homers? And if he would have stayed in the majors and not went to Japan, he would have over 500. And, oh come on up. And, he's done it in less at bats than most of he's only... I know it was a strike. can you tell me like why Andrew Jones isn't in the Hall of Fame though? Like, are you a fan of his or no? You have to be. He's a Brave. I mean, they say it's because he didn't play into his 30s long enough. Well, yeah, but he played at a high level for over 10 years. Like, highest of levels. Like,
The national media name like a lot of PPL.
well, he does though. That's the thing. Andrew Jones, he does. They just don't. What it is,
Here comes the first pitch.
and I know that's for a fact, is, can you hear me still even if I pause it? I know this, just want to pause it for a sec. You can hear me obviously, right?
The Braves have his son on their radar already.
Oh, his son's gonna be good. Yes, his son's gonna be good, hey? And Andrew can be a manager. Like, he'd be a good manager. He is managing his son's team. But okay, the problem with Jones is when they look at the Hall of Fame, they look at 30 years, what they've done past 30. That's what they do, honestly. They look to see how good the player was after they turned 30. Well, Andrew was done, right? His knees were gone. He had surgeries. He was not the same. He couldn't play center field like he was. So he went to LA, put on some weight, and that hurt him big time. But you know what? He went to Japan for what, two seasons, and he came back, and he went to Texas or Chicago first. I can't remember. He was good again, like really good, and not like the center fielder he was. Not going to win a Gold Glove, but he was hitting like home runs, and he'd hit like 20-something homers. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy could have played. Like, he barely played. Like, he's a bench player. Who hits that? You know, like he was DHing a little bit, but yeah, I think it was Texas or Chicago. He was good though, and they didn't. The amount of bats, like if you look at his career, like compared to say Griffey and A-Rod, he's only.
It'll happen eventually, even if it's his last eligible year.
Yeah.
This time he got like 34% of the vote.
Yeah, but I don't know, I hope so, but there's so many of those people who do that ballot, they decide whatever, like Larry Walker, I'm a Canadian, so I know he was on for the last year, 8 years, I think, and he barely got on. And look at his career, and he had over 300 average, right? And he had almost as many homers as like Andrew. And but what I'm trying to get at is Andrew Jones at bats, like in his career, are way less than Griffey, A-Rod. You know what I mean? By like 3,000 to 5,000 at bats. Yet he's only, a few, not many homers behind, like maybe, 150, whatever, not many. He could do that in 5 seasons, you know what I mean? Easily. And his RBIs are almost the same. Like, it's nuts what he's done. And you know what? His batting average was so low, but his at bats, like he'd have like 7, 8 pitch at bats a lot, and he'd strike out or walk a lot. So like that hurts your average, of course, right? Because the more you walk, that doesn't count as an at bat. So then your next at bat, you don't get a hit. Your batting average goes down lower. It's just how it is, or it goes up higher if you get a hit. But the numbers that he puts up and his WAR is insanely good. His WAR blows away like all of the top guys you could think of. I don't know if you know what that means, wins above replacement, but it means like if you took him off the team, that they wouldn't have been any good, because basically he would get like most of his home runs were like later in the game, or to give the team a lead, or to tie it, or like the plays he'd make, or his assists, like they were something that meant something. They weren't like, everything wasn't like a blowout when he did it. It's true, if you look back to it, he has a lot of huge, you're from there, you've probably been to Braves games, I'm not saying he's as good a chipper as a hitter, but all around as a player, Andrew Jones is very underrated. Like, he's up there with Griffey. Like, he really is. And I'll argue with people to the death, because if they want to go by WAR, that's the stat you go by. That's the stat. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. And the more he's not in, the more I think he's not going to get in. And he never tested positive for any steroids, even though people assume, they can assume all they want because of weight, whatever. That dude was diving head first before like anyone even thought, like, you know, like, that's the riskiest thing to do because it gets by you. It's inside the park home run. People never really understood that. That's why his WAR is so high too. Like, he perfected that shit, and like, I've never seen anyone that can play so shallow, you know what I mean? Or like, and get to a ball, or play so deep and get, you know, like, it's insane what he did. Like, that guy he doesn't get the credit. He should be getting the credit like Junior Griffey, because I think he's the greatest center fielder that ever played. Like, all around. Even John Smoltz said that. Like, people they don't understand. They don't respect Jones because he didn't play past his 30s. That's why. That's all they talk about when I watch interviews. Jones, what did you do after he turned 30? That's the downhill part. If he would have continuously went uphill, like when he went to LA and stuff, he'd be one of the greatest of all time. But he screwed that up. But it's injuries. It's injuries, and yeah, that's my point. My take on all that. Did you leave?
Ball and 2 strikes now. Boy, he's been great this. He's only 1 strike away from putting another 0 on the scoreboard. Sends in the air out to straightaway central.
Like Ozzie Albies too. You know, he was second behind Soto in WAR. Wins above. I don't even know if you're here.